Beckett here at InfoComm 2025 here at the PlexusAV booth, joined by the one, the only, Stephen Cogels. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. I get so excited when I get to interview you at every show because you are such a joy to talk to.
Okay.
So how has this InfoComm treated you so far?
Yeah, it's been great. We just had the first day down, the second day just started. Yeah, it's been busy. It's just a good vibe on the show floor. I think people are excited, even though it's very humid, right?
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
yeah, lots of good conversations. So it's been good for us so far.
Well, tell everyone a little bit about who PlexusAV is. You guys are really big proponents of IPMX and AV. So if you want to explain to the audience who are watching or listening a little bit about what that means.
So PlexusAV is a division inside of Sencor, 75-year-old broadcast company. So we've been around for a very long time. And when we launched, we decided IPMX was the way to go for us. We come from the broadcast space, so interoperability is big in the broadcast space. So it's very natural for us to go and do IPMX products. And that's what we launched about a year ago. We started shipping our first products for IPMX.
Congratulations.
And that's also part of our demo here, but we're further expanding that into more functionality, more options, and more connectivity.
Yeah. So the thing about the broadcast industry is, yes, they're all about IPMX, but NAV, we're a mess, right? Like we've not opened this standard. So talk about why this is important for our industry.
So first of all, a standard always gives options for end users. So especially the end users will be influenced by using standards, right? Yeah. And standards could be anything. Think about what's happening with the Lightning connector on an iPhone and USB-C. It's great. Like I think you probably have a drawer full of all those different connections, right? In due time, you'll be able to get rid of everything except the USB-C.
Thank God.
So that's just the fundamental principle of standards. For AV over IP, it means that a system becomes more future-proof. It gives the end user options to move between multiple vendors that are using IPMX for their solutions. So it just generally future-proofs the investment. Plus, it also opens up a lot more innovation next to the standard. And it gets people away from walled gardens and just limited functionality.
Which we love, a walled garden here in AV. But thank God you guys are helping us to move past that. So tell me a little bit about the gateway that's HD-based-T to IPMX. Can you explain to me, I know this is kind of a stupid question, but exactly how that works? Because HD-based-T is not AV over IP. So how does that then go through to, can you explain that to me?
So HD-based-T, right, point-to-point connections, just traversing singles over long distances, been around for a long time, right? We're up to generation 3 now that does 4K 60, 444. And what we're opening up is essentially HD-based-T input and output into our IPMX solution. So you're able to connect a wall plate, for instance, and connect that wall plate back into your HD-based-T to IPMX gateway, and then it will show up like any source in our system. But it also works the other way around. So if you have an encoder generating a signal, like we're seeing on the back, you can get that to the HD-based-T gateway and essentially put it back out to like a wall plate or feed it to an HD-based-T matrix. So it opens up all this HD-based-T connectivity. And as you know, like there's a lot of HD-based-T devices out there. And that way it opens that up. And the good thing is without if you're using HD-based-T, you're not adding any latency. Right? So it's just like plugging in the HDMI directly to an IPMX encoder. And now you're just doing it over HD-based-T and you're allowed to use wall plates like we're showing here.
Because I was recently doing a webinar for Gary where I stepped in and was talking about the importance of upgrading to AV over IP, and someone asked about using IPMX to upgrade an HD-based-T system, essentially turning it into an AV over IP system without having to go and redo everything.
Exactly, yeah. So for refurb, right, so if you're putting in a completely new system
kind
in a building,
retrofitting it,
maybe you're going to go AV over IP all the way, right? Kind of makes sense. You put in your infrastructure. It's good to plan. It's easier to plan. If you're doing a refurb in an existing building, right, we're kind of used to kind of putting something in 7 years later. We pull it all out and just replace it altogether. This is kind of just allowing you to use your existing equipment, which might still be fine. Think about all the projectors and screens that have HD-based-T inputs. On the back of this wall, we have a HD-based-T camera with a direct HD-based-T output. You can just use that in your AV over IP system.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you mentioned USB-C earlier, and you guys have a USB-C hub. So if you want to talk a little bit about the importance of USB-C in our industry as being one of those things that everyone else in consumer is kind of already moving that way, but AV and UCC tech is starting to finally move that way too.
Well, I think it's all driven by the fact that if somebody walks into a meeting room, right, if you want to connect your laptop, you don't want to mess with a bunch of wires and I plug this in, does it work, and all those kind of things. No. So USB-C just gives you that option, right?
Yeah.
So it gives you the option to do everything over that single wire. In Pro AV, what we want to achieve is you walk into the meeting room, plug in your laptop, you get everything. You get your audio, video, you get your network connection, right? So our solutions allow you to also have the network connection, and you got up to 100 watts of charging, plus all your USB-C peripherals are available. So it's essentially supporting the bring your own device meeting room. And also for us in our AV over IP solutions, we've always had USB-C.
Yeah.
And now we also are introducing a new device that allows you to do auto switching between HDMI and USB-C to up to 100 watts charging, essentially just supporting that one wire use case in the meeting room.
Yes.
And the good thing is that the device that we're introducing, you can combine it with anything. You can combine it with our solutions. If you want to combine it with an HC-based T extender, you can do that too. Yeah. So it's very flexible.
Yeah, which I think is important, especially with the way that meeting rooms are moving toward flexibility in general.
Exactly, yeah.
So of what you can tell me, a member of the media, what should I expect to see from PlexusAV over the next year?
So we're going to further expand our offering, right? So we launched our flagship AVN4 transceiver. So it's encoder, decoder. You can select which function it has. And it has both the high bit rate, highest quality, lowest latency encoding and decoding. It always had an H.264, H.265 secondary stream. Now we also will be launching dedicated H.264, H.265 encoders built on IPMX for a lower price and still very, very low latency. So current latency is about 50 milliseconds. Upon launch, we think we can further improve on that. So that's going to be there. We're also going to be further improving our stream conversion gateway, which is our protocol conversion, which allows you to take RTSP or NDI-HX in and out of an IPMX environment, plus a whole bunch of other protocols. And we're going to be expanding on those as well. And next to that, we're also launching a complete line of HT-based T wall plates, also with charging. And I'm pretty sure if we talk to each other again at ISE, there's going to be more on the roadmap. But we're very quickly expanding our offerings.
Well, it has been really exciting just for me to see how you guys have grown just in the past couple of years. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And also for IPMX, right? Here on the show floor is always a good way to detect the temperature of the water, and I'm hearing more and more companies talk about IPMX. Good. There's more and more solutions for IPMX on the show floor. So in general, that's just going to be good for the entire market. And for us as a manufacturing using IPMX, we can only applaud all those other companies. Go and join the IPMX movement essentially, and that's a good thing. So.
Well, I cannot sing your praises enough, so I appreciate it. Last question I have for you: where can people find more information on IPMX? Where can people find more information on PlexusAV?
IPMX, also some information on our website, PlexusAV.com, or I think IPMX.io, top of my head, but certainly PlexusAV.com. Awesome. A lot of information on there.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much for your time. It was good getting to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
And don't forget, on our site as well, you can go to ravepubs.com/InfoComm for all your InfoComm 2025 news. Again, I'm Steph Beckett, and we will see you next time.